Hi, readers. How are you today? Awesome. I have a joke for you. Knock, knock. Rita. Read a book. You'll learn something new. Get it? Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with our warm up. Here we go. Repeat after me when Baby Echo flies over and looks at you. B, bat, b. D, dog, d. Now, before we go on with our warm up, a lot of kids tend to get these letters confused. They look so alike. They're both made up of a stick and a ball, pretty much. So here's what I like to have you do. Always look very closely and see what it starts with. The first part of this letter is the circle part, the ball part, that kind of looks like a drum. Everybody take your hands and pretend there's a drum on your leg. Beat the drum, okay? Drum starts with d, 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 d. So if you see the drum first, get your mouth ready to say D, that this is the letter D. Check this one out. This one has the stick part first. When you make the sound B, you put your lips together and it kind of makes a flat stick like that. So pretend this is like your lips together. So when you see this come first, put those lips together to say B, B. That's the B. I want your eyes when you're reading to really look closely at which part comes first, the drum or the lips. That will help you. Okay, the next part of our warm up, I've been reading with a lot of kids lately, and this is a letter that they're having a lot of trouble with. Remember, this is ed. E-ed, eh. Say eh. This letter says eh. Keep practicing it. If it's a tricky one for you, maybe at your house or on your desk in school, you can put a little post-it note with an E, and every time you look at it, say E, ed, eh, until it seeps into your brain and you remember. Okay, let's do a few more vowels. I, itch, I. O, octopus, ah. U, up, am, ham, am. An, fan, an. ALL, ball, all. Great job. And now we're going to do a little trick word practice. What's the word? What's the tricky part? Yeah, the EY says A. They. Sounds like an A. Word? What's the tricky part? Both of these parts. Neither of them sound the way we expect them to. Of. Both tricky. Okay. I want to try something different on this. Can everybody grab their whiteboard for me? Let's copy this one down onto our whiteboards. W-A-S. Write it with me. W-A-S. I want you to help me think about the tricky parts. And we're going to put a heart under the tricky parts because those are the parts we have to memorize by heart. This word says was. Whoa. Is that part tricky? Nope. Let's just underline it. What sound do you hear next in was? But it's an A, so that is tricky. Let's put a little heart under it. Was. Well, now we know sometimes S does say Z, like in bugs. So I guess that's like a little tricky, not tricky. You choose. If the S is tricky for you, if this makes you want to say was instead of was or was, then put the heart under it. If it's not a tricky part, then put a line. To me, the tricky part is the vowel. Was. So I'm training my brain that when I see was, I know that middle part is a heart part that I have to know by heart. Was. Okay, nice job on that. If you have any other trick words that are really tricky, that's a good way to practice. Map them out like that. All right, today we are going to talk more about suffix endings. Remember this fancy color yellow comes at the end of a word. It's a suffix. And most of the things we've talked about so far, when we put the S on the end, it's making it plural, more than one. Like pen, pens, owl, owls. The other thing that an S can do when we add a suffix S to the end is it can make a word an action word. Let me show you what I mean. So, what is this word right here? Tap it with me. Shut. Shut. This is a predicate. It's an action. It's something you do. Shut your mouth. Shut the door. But sometimes we need the S on the end to say, he shuts the door. She shuts her mouth. So that's when we add our suffix S. And what do we have now? Shuts. It shows that somebody's doing it right now in the moment. Okay, let's try to read some more. And you're going to help me decide, does the S mean it's plural, more than one? Or does it mean that it's an action word, an action that someone is doing right now? Okay, take a look at this one. What's the base word? Sip. What's the whole word? Sips. Action or plural? This is an action. She sips her coffee. Glug, glug, glug. Nice job. Let's try another one. Okay, what's the base word here? Rock. Whole word? Rocks. Plural or action? It can be both, right? You can have a bunch of rocks. I see a bunch of rocks sitting on the ground. Or you could say he rocks in his chair. So this one could be either. Pretty cool. Let's do another one. What's the base word, everybody? Pen, whole word, pens. Action or plural? Plural, right? More than one pen. Okay. So in your student notebook, we are going to put an example of this. Go ahead and grab your notebook for me. Grab that student notebook. Might be like this, it might be a different color. And I want you to go ahead and find the part that is talking about suffix endings. Last time we added the example bugs, and on the page right before that, it's talking about the different rules, how there's plurals and there's action words. So we're going to go ahead right here and put an example of the word shuts, because that is an action word. So we'll write shuts and we'll underline the base word, circle the suffix. Shuts. Go ahead and add that into this page in your student notebook. Pause the screen right here to take as much time as you need to get that in. Okay, great. Then when you're done, I want you to take out your tile board. We are going to be looking for some sounds and building some words. Okay, you have it open. I'm just straightening mine up. You should make sure that all of your letters are in the right place and yours looks nice and neat. All right, here we go. Repeat after me. B. What says B? Point to it and tell me the letter's name. B. Very good. Eh. What says eh? E. D. What says d? Find that drum. D. Good job. Z. What says z? You should be pointing to two things. S and Z. Very good. Am. What says am? Letters, names, tell me. A-M. Very good. Okay, time for you to build a word. Repeat after me. Kicks. Is there a suffix on that word? So what's the base word? Kick. Let's tap out kick. K, build kick, and then make it say kicks. Stretch out those sounds to help you. And remember the rule, when we hear k at the end of the word, make kick, then add the suffix ending. That way you won't forget that it's supposed to be the digraph. Kicks. She kicks the ball. Great job. Let's spell it away. Okay, put them back in the correct spots on your board. I-C-K, suffix S. Here's your next word. Balls. Do you hear a suffix ending? Excuse me. What's the base word? Ball. Let's tap it out. B-all. Build it and then add the suffix ending. B-b-b. I'm looking for the lips first to make it say ball. Balls. Check it to mine. Always tap out what you wrote to make sure it says what you want it to say. B-all. Ball. Balls. Looks good to me. Let's spell it away. B-A-L-L, suffix S. Okay, let's do one more word and then we'll do some on our dry erase boards. Our last word is runs. Do you hear a suffix ending? So what's the base word? Run. Tap it, build it, check it. Runs. Okay, tap out what you wrote. Run, runs. Check it to mine. He runs very quickly. Let's spell it away. R-U-N, suffix S. Fantastic, my friends. It is time for you to put those aside and get your whiteboards. Go find your whiteboard. Okay, now that you have your whiteboard, let's give it a go. Repeat after me. Fibs. She fibs a lot. A fib is like telling a lie. Do you hear a suffix? So what's the base word? Fib. Tap fib. I-b. Write it. Stretch out those sounds. I-b. Putting my lips together, so start with the lip. Start with the line. Fib. Make it say fibs. Okay, underline the base word. Circle the suffix. Mine. Let's go right down to the next line and do another one. Repeat after me. Quits. Do you hear a suffix? What's the base word? Quit. Let's tap it. Qu-it. Write it. Make it say quits. Underline the base word. Circle the suffix. Quits. Fibs, quits. And let's do one more. Tells. He tells a secret. What's the base word? Tell. Let's tap it. T-e-l. Bonus letter. Go ahead and write tells. Star the bonus letter. And then underline the base word. Circle the suffix. Check it with mine and let's read our word. Fib, fibs. Quit, quits. Tell, tells. Awesome job. Erase those and we'll do one sentence. Repeat after me. Where are the dogs fed? Where are the dogs fed? Go ahead and work on your sentence. Pause until you're done. And check it with mine. Where are the dogs fed? Read it with expression and then erase and you're done.